a way of changing, but there's one thing that always stays the same. You miss the old life.
Do you?
Every day. All the way up.
Yes!
How can we not talk about family when families are that we got? That's my failed attempt at reminding you of what the Fast and Furious franchise is about. Apart from the speed, the adrenaline, and all that energy always pumping with fast cars, the action and all that stuff, family is always the bottom line of the whole conversation. And this one, well, did not disappoint as much, but in case you want to know all that I think about this movie, you need to stick around on my YouTube channel because I'm about to review the movie Fast and Furious 9. Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Eleshomiyasorelua. Thank you for sticking right here to watch this video on my channel. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, comment, and let me know that you're just new to the family. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know how we do it. It's always the clap and the welcome back song for you guys. So yes, everyone, welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I bring you everything about my lifestyle, my work, my life, my moves, and most importantly, the movie review. As a movie junkie, or maybe the movie junkie I became to be, well, I do used to be a movie junkie, but somehow work happened, life happened, and here I am, and I have the opportunity to see a lot of movies and of course review them. So today I just saw the Fast and Furious 9. Although it's not officially out yet in Nigerian cinemas. When I checked, I think it's supposed to hit Nigerian cinemas on the 25th of June. It's already showing in some parts of the world or some other countries in the world, but Nigeria officially is supposed to hit the cinema 25th of June. And yeah, I'm about to spill all of the tea and everything you need to know about this movie. If you've seen it, well, then come close, because I know you and I, we have conversations to have as I talk about some of the things I think you need to know about this movie, or some of the things you saw when you saw the movie, and let me know if my thoughts are in sync with yours, okay? And let's talk in the comment section even as you watch this video. And if you're yet to see it, then you need to see this video more, because this will determine whether or not you should see the Fast and Furious 9. So guys, let's quickly get on with the conversation. As usual, I'm going to start with the storyline, the cast, and some of my favorite moments, as well as tell you what they did well or did not do well in this movie. I'm sure everyone who's been following the Fast and Furious franchise already know what the Fast and Furious franchise is about, so I don't think I need to go back in time. But I think one of the interesting things for me, every year we get a new Fast and Furious, especially after we lost Paul Walker, is the fact that we get to remember him again, pay tribute to him, and of course just have that moment of truth, because regardless of how many years has gone by, we would always remember Paul Walker, his sacrifice and his impact in the Fast and Furious franchise. So yes, that's one of the reasons I love to watch a new Fast and Furious, and that's one of the reasons I love for them to keep producing Fast and Furious, because the more we have more of the movies, the more we remember Paul Walker and the more we pay our respects to him. So yes, that was one of the major highlights for me going into the cinema to see this particular movie. I definitely had to remember Paul Walker, and that song I did at the beginning, it's a line from See You Again, which was a tribute song done by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth. But then, moving on many years after Paul Walker has died, you know that the Fast and Furious franchise has continued down the line from the FF7 to 8, and now we are 9. Well, in between 8 and 9 we had the Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw, right? Aha. So that's kind of journey is what we've had so far. And I think Hobbs and Shaw was in 2019. 2020 we couldn't get anything thanks to the pandemic. Now 2021, thankfully we have another installment that everyone can get to see in the cinema. Of course, the Fast and Furious story is nothing that we do not know about. It's a story of some cool guy with different background. Okay, cool guys and girls with different background, different story, different experiences coming together, connected by one thing they all love the most, and that's racing. The car thingy and all of that. And they over the years have pulled their experiences, strengths and weaknesses together to keep fighting challenges of life. And one of the major factor is the fact that they believe they're a family. That's basically what you need to know about the Fast and Furious franchise, in case you're just joining us for the very first time on this journey. But in this particular one, it becomes even more interesting because when this one was sold out to us, it was sold out on the basis that there is a new family member that was going to be unveiled to us. Who is the family member? We did not exactly know, but getting into the cinema, we found out who the family member was or is. And yes, the family member is a new introduction to the Fast and Furious franchise. Turned out to be John Cena. I don't know if a lot of people saw that coming, but again, John Cena, according to them, is a family member that came back to cause all the trouble that we saw in FF9. So apparently, the storyline had Vin Diesel, dumb, and had us look into the life of Vin Diesel, that's dumb. Apparently, Dom lost his father in a car race. But he was on the line or on the track with himself and his brother, which is John Cena. John Cena is called Jacob, and that was the opening scene. It was the scene of that particular race and how their father died in a car crash and a fire accident in that particular race. So apparently what we did not know, or what we found out later, is that Jacob had a hand in how their father died on that track. What Dom and every other person did not know is that the father gave Jacob the go-ahead to cause whatever happened that led to that particular crash. So that's one of the things we did not know. But what we know is that Dom finding out that his brother had a hand in their father's death led to both of them splitting, and Dom said to him, "Go and never come back." And that's a line we heard about one or twice in the movie. In fact, the second time we heard it, I heard them say it in the movie, I had to say it along with them because I just really knew that was going to happen. So Jacob had to leave because Dom was angry and he didn't want to take revenge on his brother. But it was really sad that his brother had a hand in their father's death, not knowing that the father gave the go-ahead. So Jacob left, and after he left, he had to kind of join the bad guys, in taking revenge on Dom. And that was basically the entire story. So we had Cypher also feature. I'm sure you know Cypher. That's like the major badass, when it comes to Vin Diesel and his gang, always after Vin Diesel and his gang from all the installments we've seen. And then we had this other guy, the sport rich kid, I can't remember his name right now, but turned out was trying to get his hand on a particular weapon. It's called the Aerial, I think, and that Aerial had a family, guarding it until they killed the parent, and then the daughter was left, and her DNA was all that could open that particular weapon. And when it gets to the hand of these bad guys, they were going to use it, the way they were going to use it. So the mission was to stop all of this from happening and also save Anne. The mission was to stop all of this from happening, and then there was Anne on the other side who they thought was dead, but later on they got to find out what happened to him, and he joined the team in making sure that their mission was accomplished. So the confrontation initially was between Dom, his sister, Ramsey, all the Fast and Furious guy, face to face with Jacob, who is Dom's brother. That was the major confrontation there, until they knew who Jacob was working with. And then Jacob later on got betrayed by the guys he was working with, and then he had to come back to join our dear Fast and Furious team. So that's the storyline. Of course, you know that it was going to come with a lot of action. It was going to come with a lot of drama. It was going to come with a lot of humor. I mean, you definitely trust Roman Pierce to bring you all that humor, and I think I laughed a lot, of course, being the dumb person that he is all the time, and sometimes it feels like he's speaking some sense, but inside there is still nonsense. So yeah, there was humor, there was all the emotion, all the flashbacks, everything kind of just worked together to bring us another Fast and Furious franchise that we love or that we know. But did everything work out perfectly? Well, that's something I'm about to pour out right here in this particular review. So having talked about the storyline and the cast, let me quickly tell you a bit more of the things that they did differently this time in this Fast and Furious 9. One of the things is that they introduced us to new people, and starting off with John Cena. Of course, we know that Vin Diesel was going to lead the pack with the other guys, but we're introduced to new people, John Cena being one of them. He played Jacob, that's Dom's brother. And I think that was like a perfect fit. I think both of them just had that connection and that strength that those roles needed. And I really enjoyed watching John Cena. I mean, for someone who saw John Cena fight a lot, in wrestling and all that, I think it was interesting to see this side of him, the old macho man and the old action man. It was just really interesting, and watching him do that alongside playing the soft part with his brother was also very interesting. So I think I enjoyed watching the duo of John Cena and Vin Diesel. Is John Cena a perfect fit for that role? Well, maybe they would have got someone else, but as far as I saw in this movie, I think it did well for me. Another person who got a lot of people screaming about FF9 is Cardi B. Yes, Cardi B also featured in this installment of Fast and Furious. But although a cameo appearance, that's just one scene, but I think I enjoyed seeing her come up on our screens. As a matter of fact, I was almost carried away before our scene came up. And then when it eventually did, I'm like, oh, Cardi B, oh, yes, everyone literally just had that gerbs, like, oh, Cardi. Yeah, that moment was also very lit while we're seeing the movies. I think I enjoyed watching Cardi play Cardi. They didn't try to change anything about her. It was just the same Cardi accent, but this time a bad bitch who came to save Dome from trouble. After with the dialogue, it just appeared like Dome at one time saved her, so she had to pay back, to save Dom from his brother Jacob when he was in when he had been ambushed, and they came in. She and her gang, that's Cardi B and her gang came in as Interpol official. Cardi and a gang came in as Interpol and saved Dom eventually. So yeah, that moment just got me like. Well, another moment where we got to see a new introduction into the FF9 cast would be the introduction of Santos. Well, also another cameo performance or appearance. Santos was played by Ozuna, which is the music artist. Well, it was sometime later on at the end of the movie, but that was just like, oh yeah, welcome Ozuna to the club or the team. I think one of the things they try to do with this FF9 is they're trying to pull strings. Like when I say strings, they're trying to pull fan bases together. So when you have everyone talk about going to see Cardi B in the movie, or you are Ozuna's fan and you want to see Ozuna, or you are John Cena's fan, so they perhaps just brought all the fan bases together, so like you have a reason to go see FF9. And I don't think it's a bad idea after all. As the story expands, or as the movie expands, we definitely need new faces, and I think that's something that we got in this particular installment. To talk about some of the other things that left me breathtaking, or that left me gasping, it would be some of the stunts in the movie. Of course, we know that FF or the Fast and Furious franchise is always very intriguing, but I think this one had a lot of intrigue, but kind of watered it down with a lot of conversation and all those family emotional moments, which I think, at some point I'm like, okay, can you guys just speed it up? I'm tired of hearing all this dialogue. I want to see action. I want to see violence, because we know Fast and Furious for all this fast-paced stuff. What's up with all this dialogue and all this, lovey-dovey moment and all that conversation? I kind of got bored, in between because of that. But they always find a way of making me gasp in the next scene after that dragging moment. For most part of it, there are some things that were predictable. I could literally predict some lines. There's some lines I heard over and over, and at some point I'm like, okay, can we just stop? That line was how are you still alive? I heard that like 2-3 times, and I'm like, okay, what's all this thing? You guys aren't immortal or something, so why are you trying to put in our faces that you keep surviving every damn thing? Because at the end of the day, we know that it's impossible to survive all that stuff for so long. But in this one, they're just putting in our faces, oh, how do we survive this? How do we survive that? Like, damn, you guys been surviving all that stuff. We know, Anyways, I felt like all of those things were kind of unnecessary, because after all, they already told us, or we've already come to terms with the fact that you all are our badass heroes without cape. So if you're not going to leave that reality and keep reminding us of how you're doing the extra by surviving every time, you can as well stop. But apart from all those drags and those lines, I think that it was fun to watch. It's Fast and Furious after all. I really enjoyed watching Roman, as always. I enjoyed watching the most Ramsey in this particular installment, because when Ramsey grabbed the wheels to drive, when the Dome gave her that order to drive, because she was the only one in that space to save that situation, it was hella funny, because we know we've never seen Ramsey drive a car before. Well, I can't remember, but that was like a new side to the story that I really liked also. So Ramsey had to grab the wheels, and all that drama that happened afterwards was definitely interesting to watch. So I think they kind of brought Ramsey to life in a different form that I love. She stopped being that girl who would be by the driver's side and do all that talking and all that tech stuff. She literally grabbed the wheels this time, and I just really loved, even though it was a mess, I think I enjoyed watching her in that light. Yeah, there's some other interesting stuff that happened right in between, but I think that at the end of the day, I would not lie, I think I really enjoyed watching it. Maybe the story could have been better, or maybe they just really didn't pull through with all their strength this time, because for some reason I still feel like something somewhere is missing. Something that could have probably made it more fun, more interesting, and maybe more alive was just missing somewhere. But I'm just going to let it slide for now and just take it as Fast and Furious. Our Fast and Furious, my Fast and Furious, your Fast and Furious that we've come to love over the years. Because apart from that, if not for that, I'm just gonna keep feeling like, okay, what's happening here. Well, I enjoyed it, and that's one of the major reasons I would keep going back to see any Fast and Furious installment or franchise, because at the end of the day, you would definitely enjoy it, take your lessons back home, and of course the ultimate lesson every time is family bond. Yeah, I think I liked the connection at the end, how Jacob had to switch side and all that reunion that happened, at that final scene before he started, or before he continued with his journey again. Of course, it feels like there's still a lot to see, or there's still a lot we're going to see with that connection, but eventually when it happens, I know that FF10 is already in the works according to some of the things that I read. I can't wait to see how they spin it again, but I think that we need to start doing stronger, richer stories away from all this family members pinning from different places. I think there's a need to explore some more narrative as we go on with this franchise. But generally, it was a good watch. It was definitely a good watch. I was expecting to see a bit more music, you know, or better soundtracks, but again, it was just some drops I can't explain or lay my hands on somewhere in the middle. But like I said, generally it was enjoyable. So if you want to see this movie, then you can definitely head out to the cinema to do so, and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like I said, the new introduction or the new appearances made it interesting to look forward to. The story was okay, could have been better. The dialogue was draggy at some point. The action was, you know, mixed or watered down with a lot of emotions and drama, which I got tired of at some point. Those are some of the things I noticed in this movie. Let me know what you noticed when you saw Fast and Furious 9, and if you've not seen it, go check it out and let me know what you think also in the comment section down below. This is all I'm going to say for now. Maybe I'm going to try watch it again, and if I notice anything else, I will definitely come back to talk to you about it. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Elisha Moyoserolu. I'll see you in the next one.